Frank.
Hey, here we go. Check this out.
This is Whole Nother Level with Dwayne Lindo.
You know, frankly, I feel that we shouldn't even be talking about this. Simple as that.
The great L. Bushman.
They'd have to make so many adjustments, but I don't know what they have to do. They need him here. They need her?
Frank Mazzei.
Did they win the offseason in free agency? Yes. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Craig Cousin.
How can you not put Tom Brady number one on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks? Man, this guy's a legend. Rings speak.
And Derek Wilson.
I didn't know Eric was going to let you talk.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. I've seen enough Facebook posts to know that you're not a Giants fan. Let's go. And welcome everyone to another edition of Whole Nother Level. We are here at Co-Work, Florida, and I got the entire gang with us. Well, of course, minus our girl Natasha, but we got the great L. Bushman here with us, coming off looking at some new houses. About to get a new house himself.
Yep.
Good morning, afternoon, whatever the case may be. How are you?
I'm up early today.
I know. Brother called me at like 10:30, like, where's this place at again? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, it's down the road.
10 o'clock is not, that's late.
Normally,
Why aren't you up?
Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock is late. On the weekends,
you got to get
man.
things done, man.
Talking about these two 80-year-olds here. I mean,
80.
give me a break.
What do you mean 80?
Talking about going to bed at 10 o'clock?
No.
I got up at 8 o'clock.
He got up at 8 a.m.
Okay.
I got up at 10 a.m.
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
Saturday.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
10 a.m. though?
Not
Come on,
80.
man.
All right.
I went to bed at midnight.
I got up at about 11:45 this morning.
Attaboy.
There you go.
Attaboy.
Frank, are you still? Are you even awake yet?
I'm working on it.
Okay,
He has his cup of Joe.
I know. This is your first or second cup of coffee this morning?
First.
That's
I rolled out of bed and I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to cut him some slack, man. This is his first cup of coffee. So once you get to his second or third, then, he'll have a little bit of pep in his step. But
I'm in the zone then. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. So, yeah, Frank Mazzei in the building. Craig Cousin back from West Palm. Our
Yes.
man D. Lindo's in the house with us. Gentlemen, what's going on?
I don't think we've had a full house in a long time.
It's been about a couple weeks, yeah.
of course, of all months to have a full house in June where there's really not a heck of a lot going on. I mean, of all months, of all weeks.
Normally, we're always going here, there, and everywhere, just promoting, branding, and doing Whole Nother Level on Whole Nother Level. So it's crazy. But yeah, we are here live at Co-Work, Florida. Folks, 813-699-5353 is the number to chime in. I don't even know where to begin. I'm gonna take a page out of. I'm gonna shock y'all where I want to start this conversation with today. Golf.
What?
The world of golf. The U.S. Open is going on right now, and
do we all have to lower our voices and talk like
Do
this?
the golf claps.
The 8-foot putt.
The top three
to go 5 under.
Right now, Eric is going to talk about golf.
The top three in the world of golf.
Okay.
Did not.
All right. That was pretty good.
They
but,
did not make the cut, man. And so you got a lot of amateurs, a lot of rookies out there for the first time playing. I mean, and this is just crazy because Rory, accordingly, is bored.
You know what? Good. I'd rather see a bunch of no-name guys on the course than the superstars.
Yeah,
because
but
then the next batch of superstars can emerge.
Yeah,
Well,
but isn't
the
that
funny
wild?
part about it is Rory came out before the U.S. Open, and he was all up in arms about a lot of the competitors on tour weren't happy with the field, and they were stretching it out because the rough was too big. Basically, there was a lot of stuff going on. They thought the green, or not the green, the fairway was too narrow, so they actually took a crew and they were basically widening it a little bit so there wasn't as much rough, as much terrain. And he's like, we're all pros here. This is ridiculous, this, and that. And then he played the way he did the first 2 rounds. So
I mean, isn't the U.S. Open course, though, always one of the hardest?
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. The scores are usually always low.
They are, but, I mean, these guys you're expecting the Rory McIlroys of the world, the Jordan Spieths, the Jason Days. You're expecting those guys to at least be under par,
at least make the cut,
right? At least make the cut. That's how the excitement builds going into the weekend. But when 3 of the top golfers in the world aren't even playing, it's like ratings might go down or they might go up because, as the great L. Bushman said, there's going to be some guy that we haven't heard about who's going to get his first official win.
Yeah, a major.
And make a name for himself.
Well, I'm hoping it's Ricky Fowler. I think he's been in contention a lot, and he hasn't really got over the hump. He Played a really, really good opening round. I think he has shot -7. Yesterday, he kind of took a little bit of a step back, but he's still only 2 back from the lead, and I'm really rooting for him this weekend. And it's a shame that it's not a shame, I guess, because you have to go to your kid's graduation, but Phil Mickelson withdrew from the U.S. Open, and that actually would cause some ratings to go down before it even started.
Yeah, true. All right, like I said, I wanted to start in a different place for us. You know what? Let's stay away from the top 4. Let's go to UFC for a second, because from what I understand, and Frank, please chime in on this one, Holly Holmes is retiring. She's done?
What?
She's fighting tonight.
But this is it, though.
Well,
Did I miss something? Holly Holm, she fought last night, didn't she?
No,
she fights tonight.
UFC Singapore is tonight. She's fighting Betch Kohea in the main event. But I did not know that she was retiring.
Neither did I.
No, I don't. I mean, I think Eric might be just looking forward into the future if she loses.
Well, look,
time to hang him up.
This is an important fight for her, and she can beat Betch, so that this shouldn't be, But her biggest claim to fame, outside of being a boxing champion, is being the first person to knock out Ronda Rousey.
Right. On top of that,
basically,
right.
And after that, I mean, she had a couple of bad runs. I mean, Miesha Tate got her in the 5th round submission.
Hold on, Frank. Either we stepped into a time warp.
I think we're all.
That fight already happened.
Holly Holmes decapitates Beth Correa with head kick from Singapore. The Singapore results.
Betch Kohea.
Betch Kohea, excuse me.
That fight already happened. That's the result.
Wow.
All right.
So unless it's
I should say it's
the replay.
It's airing on TV tonight. I should say,
okay.
because it's in Japan. The time,
right, the time difference.
Okay,
so
yeah,
what I saw from the highlights of the fight, for this fight, was Correa. She does this in every fight. She talks so much shit, and then she gets knocked out, and that's what Holly Holm did last night. She did, and what was cool about the commentators were like, "Oh, it's the Ronda Rousey kick, doesn't Betch Correa last night," and she got her with the kick, and then she was down, and then Correa was just kind of dazed, and then Holm came in for a knockout punch.
Okay, I mean, good for Holly, because she needed this, because she lost to Miesha, she lost to Jermaine Durandamy, which she should have won that. Actually, she won that fight, but she lost it. The judges basically screwed it up.
I think this for her gives her a little bit more confidence going in, because going on a 3 fight losing streak does a total of a fighter. So I think after this fight, Amanda Nunes was kind of like, okay. All right, she's back. Let's do this. So I'm happy for Holly Holm, coming back and
so Holly's staying. Okay,
yeah, she's not retiring.
I thought I may have read somewhere that she was done after this fight, but okay, I was wrong.
She's up there in age, though. I mean, you got to look at that.
She was a boxer and a kickboxer for over 20 years.
Right.
I mean, so
she's been fighting for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now look, if I'm Betch Kohea, she may be gone. I mean, she hasn't won in. I mean, she's lost at least three of her last 4.
Yep. Every time she fights, she just taunts and taunts and taunts. She did that, I guess, when she fought against Ronda Rousey. She did that. She lost every time. And when she was in the ring last night, she kept doing the shimmy, like, come here, come on, and all of a sudden, boom, she got knocked out.
She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and that's it.
Yep.
Like, she has no stand-up at all, and she hasn't evolved. She changed camps. She left Brazil to go to AKA, but that's not a striking camp. That is a grappling, and all the guys that are there are great grapplers and wrestlers, and on the ground, it's like, you need to go somewhere where somebody's going to teach you basically how to throw your hands, and she didn't do it.
All right, so the biggest story this past week was the contracts are signed, they're sealed, the date is set. McGregor versus Mayweather is happening finally
in August too.
In August, coming up.
So they both they both knew this fight was going to happen. They've been training for months, both of them. So the fact that it's in August is,
with nothing else going on, really. I mean,
exactly.
Look, this is no coincidence. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus has closed up shop after over a century. Now they've closed up shop. Now another circus has come into town.
The press conference. All the tours and the press conferences, I want to see that more than
I would
the actual
buy
fight.
the pay-per-view for the press conference than I would for the actual fight.
Well, speaking of the fight, let me just say this and throw the invitation out. You 4 gentlemen are invited. There is going to be Craig, you were at the last big fight, which was Pacquiao Mayweather. Everybody's invited. It was not a big fight, but
it would have been.
You probably won't have a big fight this time around.
I beg to differ with you, Dane, but I'm inviting you 4 gentlemen. Come to the house. We're gonna watch the fight. I'm gonna cook. Just want to throw it out.
I'm on the side
good
with
5
Dwayne.
minutes.
I don't think this fight, it's going to be hyped up as the biggest thing, but in the end, I don't think it's going to be that great of a fight.
Look, it's all about
I'm calling
Lou.
a round 4 knockout. I'm just saying.
Round 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I know everybody's like, Floyd didn't have knockout power. Watch, but he's a lot faster than anything that Connor's seen
He's
before.
also a lot older than
and
he's been.
His defensive game is something that
Yeah,
is really
going to
aggravate
dance around
Connor in the
all
first 2
ring.
rounds, I
I'm gonna
think.
dance and dance and dance. That's all he does.
Well,
That's all he
and-
did for the Pacquiao
and
fight.
until Connor gets pissed off and gets tired because it's a different game than UFC. And you have to have endurance. And I'm not saying you don't in the first 3 to 4 rounds at UFC, but this is different.
Should we take an
lot
odds
different.
to see if McGregor maybe slips out a kick?
Well,
No,
he might.
It's in
He
the
might.
contract. Dana said elbows and everything. He opens
Really?
himself up to legal action if he gets because people were saying they're like, well, maybe Connor could just do a little dirty boxing and get his hand. Nope.
Well, the
can't.
problem is he's so ingrained of fighting a certain way. I mean, who's to say he's not in the corner taking a couple shots and then he pulls a quick knee or something because it's just ingrained in him. He does it accidentally, actually. So
in the heat of the moment.
But I mean, obviously, you can't do that. That's the thing. Now, if Floyd went to the UFC, he'd get destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
But you're coming to Floyd's. I mean, grant a 12-year difference. That's the only thing that kind of makes me pause for a second. But I still think Mayweather's going to take this fight easily.
Wait till they face off. When they do their first stare down, look and see how much bigger Connor is than Floyd. Even though they're fighting at the same weight at 154, Floyd doesn't make 154. He walks around at about 147. Connor walks around at about 170-ish, and that's about what he's going to be. So you're going to see when they actually square up and stand face-to-face, you're going to see a decent size difference at least.
I don't think that's going to make a difference, though.
I do.
I mean, I feel that. Look, this is essentially a boxing match. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
With
It's
all
straight
intents
up
and purposes.
boxing.
No, okay.
Not essentially.
Yeah,
it really
well,
is.
the point is that Floyd Mayweather has the upper hand here with it being a boxing match, and that's kind of where I'm getting at here.
Floyd is retired. He's coming out
Doesn't
of
matter whether he's
retirement
retired or not.
to
I mean,
fight
I couldn't-
him.
Over
he's
$100
coming out.
million.
Yeah,
He's coming out to get
to
paid.
fight. He's
Listen,
about to get 150, 200 million.
I can understand that. I
He's
can
got
understand the age
100
difference.
million reasons to come out of retirement. I will grant both of you that. And to Dwayne's point,
Watch Floyd bet on himself.
he's walking into a
He'll make
familiar.
so much more money.
I know exactly.
Gosh.
He's walking into familiar territory because he's walking into his playground. He's walking into his house. Connor's stepping into his jungle gym. I get that. But what the one thing you gentlemen and Frank, you brought this to our attention. Granted, Connor has amateur boxing ability. I don't say he's good. I don't say he's great. But he
was
has
an amateur boxer before he got into MMA,
Right.
yes.
Did you see
So-
those sparring videos this past week?
all he has to do is focus himself on just that one thing, just on boxing.
Look, I played high school football. That doesn't mean I can go up against
In the
go up
NFL,
against,
yeah.
go up against
You can do it, Dwayne.
I mean,
You can
come
do
on,
it.
man. What kind of reasoning is that?
My reasoning
Really?
is if he had no experience and he just started training now for this, then it's a clear, decisive victory.
You're actually making my point stronger. You just said he's an amateur boxer.
But at least he
and
has
he is
that.
fighting against literally pound for pound the last decade and a half, the best boxer in the sport.
Right.
Regardless
Ever. I
of
mean,
age.
Some say ever. I
Yeah,
mean,
He
absolutely.
is not the greatest boxer
He
ever.
has not lost.
He
Well,
is
he's top
not.
three.
He is
He's top
not
three.
the greatest boxer
he has
ever.
not
Agree, he's
lost.
top three.
I said some say. I didn't say was. I'm just saying some say. But look, Floyd's gotten caught before too. Madonna's caught him, and he's not exactly the best. Connor is, at least to his credit, even though he fights in the UFC, yeah, he does some kicks and everything, but most of his fights, he's knocked dudes out. He just straight up boxes with them. Yes, he can go to the ground, he can do the kicks and everything, but he likes to box. And when he hits people,
They go down.
We talked about it with the Eddie Alvarez fight. When he hit Eddie Alvarez and all those dudes, they were like, the look on their face, it's like,
Oh, shit.
oh yeah, it's like,
Oh,
this
shit
is
look.
this is not good. And now that's going to be the thing. That's going to be the if. Can he even touch Floyd?
Yes.
Because if he does, if he gets his hands on Floyd's going to, I'm not going that far, but
I will.
You're going to see the look on Floyd's face be like, what the hell?
I'm telling you, if Canelo Alvarez couldn't shake Floyd, I'm sorry, but Conor McGregor's not going to. in my
Yes,
opinion.
he is. He gonna get that hit. I'm telling y'all right now.
Yeah, he might get a hit, but
it
he's not
doesn't
gonna win
matter.
the fight.
It doesn't matter. If you can get in Floyd's head, and all it takes is one hit. All it takes is one hit from Conor to hit Floyd
Better
in the
catch him.
right. If he catches him, If he catches him. But when he catches him, because I'm saying he's going to catch him, that's going to be the face that we're all going to pay attention to because the whole place is going to erupt.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like 10-ounce gloves. That's too much padding. I was hoping that Connor didn't ask for anything. Like, basically, Connor's like,
well, because he's getting paid 50 times more than he's ever made before, probably.
I'm going to get $100 million.
When it's all said and done, yeah.
I don't, but I was hoping that it would be 4-ounce gloves because then his knockout power would be actually, because 4-ounce gloves, I mean, that's basically almost bare knuckle. 10-ounce gloves, so there's more padding, which that actually helps Floyd because he does have brittle hands, and it takes away a little bit. But look, it's not going to take away all of Connor's power. I mean, just because he's got a little extra foam in the gloves doesn't mean if he still catches Floyd, things could get interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I mean, look, that's going to be the thing. That's what people are going to watch to see. And the one thing is that because Connor is not a straight boxer, his boxing stance is going to be a little unorthodox. He's not going to come at Floyd like a Canelo, like some of those guys, like Oscar De La Hoya, who have a typical boxing stance. Connor's stance is going to be
kind of, yeah.
Awkward,
he's going to make it up as he goes almost, yeah.
And Floyd's at least going to have to figure out his timing. I'm not saying that he can't, and because Floyd picks up and he'll change on the fly, but it's going to take him a little bit to figure out, okay, how is this? Because Connor doesn't, like a lot of UFC fighters, he doesn't telegraph his punches. There's no fat. Like, it just, bam, there it is. So it's not like he's loading up with a haymaker and Floyd's like, oh, he's about to throw a left. Connor just, it's like, there it is. So it could make things interesting.
Listen, Floyd has everything to lose in this fight. He's coming out of retirement. He has never lost. Yep. If Connor wins this fight miraculously, he's going to be thought of as a hero, the best in the business. I can't believe this has been done. It's going to be a legend, basically.
Even if he loses, what's he lost? I mean,
nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
nothing.
I look at it this way, too. This might give the sport of boxing a shot in the arm that it needs because right now, boxing's kind of...
I like that it might be opening the door for people to not only just do UFC, but they're going to start cross-fighting, which is actually pretty cool.
It'll open up a door to something new and something that's going to probably change the sport of boxing altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will a little bit. But if you can remember in the past, the heavyweight boxing match was kind of the marquee or the premier boxing weight, if you will, other than like middleweight or bantamweight. But, I mean, I guess it would give it a shot just a tad bit. I mean,
it should be a wake-up call.
Thank you.
I mean, to them, like, okay, there's nobody in your sport. You had to bring somebody in basically from two guys going back and forth in the media because everybody knows Connor, that's a UFC fan, and people in boxing, they know Floyd, and it's like, I mean, and Connor, he's worldwide. I mean, he's not just U.S. I mean, Ireland, Europe, I mean, the whole thing. So it's I don't know. I mean, look, it's probably going to be a train wreck, but
yeah.
Who's the people that say they're not going to watch? I mean, come on, no.
Well, listen, maybe sometime down the road they can join forces and be one. So, and I'm not saying like everybody's just going to be fighting UFC, but I'm saying you might have 4 boxing fights in one night, 4 UFC fights in one night, but they're a conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? So that way everybody's paying for one pay-per-view, and you might get 2 pay-per-views a month or something like that.
You could sell this.
I mean, look at how big that entity would be. Yeah, it would be ridiculous.
You could do the rematch in the Octagon.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, look, and make another probably $100 million. Be like, okay, Floyd's going to go full UFC rules, and we're going to do it again.
That would be over in round 1.
I think
not with them brittle hands, he won't.
I think no matter how whatever the end result is, there'll be a number 2.
Really?
They'll have to be a number 2.
You think so?
I think so.
This is not just this is
it's
it.
not a one-off thing.
When two worlds collide, and
it's
that's
all about money too.
It depends how the fight breaks down.
Literally,
if McGregor gets worked and knocked out, everybody's going to be like, okay.
He's now. He's
what I expected.
What we expected. Let's move on.
He's a plus 400 underdog right now. That's where
it actually opened at plus 600, so people are betting on him. A lot of people. Yeah.
Of course they are. They want the upset.
It opened up at 800.
Look, that's a great bet to take. You can see that if it opened up at 800 and it's at plus 400 now,
trust me, I'm betting on this fight.
Right. People are taking the underdog.
You have to put like 1,000 on Floyd just to make $100.
Yeah.
So I mean, Connor, that's a
great bet to make right now.
So is Floyd minus 400 right now then?
I believe he was at.
What are the bets on that?
It would be around that.
So you have to bet 600 to win $100.
Yeah.
Here's what I like about Connor is, I think it was 4 years ago, he was on welfare. I mean, he wasn't even in the UFC. He was fighting in some King of the Cage or some local MMA thing. Got into the UFC, and basically he took advantage of every fight that he had. He came out there with his bow ties, wearing his suits, and just talking smack, running his mouth. But he kept winning. He kept winning, and then he just finally got to where he was the king of the pay-per-views. I mean, you could combine all the top fighters, and they still don't equal his pay-per-views.
Yeah, and listen, he has the reach, he has the strength, and he has the age going for him. And those three things are huge. The problem is he, like Eric said, he's going to have to catch him, and he's going to have to catch him early.
No, he's going to catch him. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all can sit here and say whatever you want. I've been listening to the four of you just go back and forth. Here's how it's fitting to go down. He going to catch Floyd one time, and Floyd going to realize, uh-oh. And then from that point on, Conor has Floyd in his pocket.
So what are you calling? Are you calling Conor going to win this fight?
Yes, I'm calling Conor to win this fight.
Oh my
you
gosh.
can dance
what is in this dude's coffee this morning?
Right, so
he didn't wake up until 10 and then
straight water.
All right, before we go on break, let's go around the panel. Who's got who? Dwayne, who do you got?
I got Floyd.
You got Floyd?
Yeah.
Are you got decision or you got like a knock?
What do you got? Straight up decision, or what are you talking?
No. I want to know. I'm asking you. What do you how do you think the fight? So you got Floyd. Do you think it's going to be a knockout, a decision in 12 rounds? What do you think?
Wow, it's a tough question. I mean, anything can happen, really. I mean,
that's why I'm asking.
If I just say,
what is your answer?
Knockout.
What round?
Second round.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going 4th round knockout.
Eric?
Oh, you going?
I'm going to go last.
Okay, all right. I'm saying Conor going to catch him. Okay. Connor's going to catch him in the 3rd round.
So you think Conor with a 3rd round knockout?
No.
Floyd?
Let me finish.
Okay. Well, you're saying he's going to catch him.
Look, TB12, sit there for a second, okay? It ain't football season. All right, hold on. Connor's going to catch him in the 3rd round, and Floyd's going to be in his pocket the rest of that time.
And then Mike Tyson will come out, and it'll be a battle royale.
Conor,
Stone Cold Steve Austin will come out, do the Stone Cold Stunner.
Someone's ears getting better.
Did you ask me, or did you just want to interrupt the whole thing? Thank you. Conor is not going to let this go more than 6 rounds. So I'm saying between the 5th and the 6th, somewhere either 5th or 6th, Conor's going to win this fight.
Okay, so you're calling knockout.
Yes.
Okay.
Calling a knockout.
I'm telling you right now, the odds on that would probably be.
Oh, the odds are ridiculous on that.
Yeah, on that. On
you
what
might as well, if you put $100, you're going to win like $2,000.
Yeah, on what you mentioned, it probably would be plus 1,000 or something like
Frank.
that.
Well, that's how Conor wins it. If the only way Conor wins this fight is by knockout.
Right.
I mean, that's his chance to win it, is to clip Floyd, to catch him and stun him a little bit.
So who do you got?
To where he could just go on it. Look, I'm torn on this because. When's the last time Floyd knocked anybody out?
It's been a long time.
20 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
No, I mean, you have to go back to the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, and people were like, oh, well, Nate Diaz knocked out Conor. Look, Nate Diaz walks around at almost 200 pounds. So
he's a hard puncher, and he can take a lot of abuse.
Exactly. So
and Floyd and Conor was giving him a lot of abuse in that fight.
People that were discounting that, like, oh, well, he got Nate Diaz touched him up. Look, Nate is a lot bigger. It'd be the difference between me hitting somebody and like Craig or you hitting somebody. It's probably going to be a different result just from the size standpoint. So, and Conor is younger. I'm torn on this. I really am. I gotta. It just depends about how it goes. I mean, if like I said, it's going to take at least a round to figure out,
I agree with that.
The timing, Floyd's going to try and figure out, for Conor to figure out what Floyd's doing and how he's going to attack it. And look, because Conor's not going to dance. Conor is going to go straight at him. That's
what he
style.
needs to do, yeah.
He's not going to move around. He's not going to run. He's going
Frank breaking down the fight. We still haven't gotten what he thinks. I mean, he's been talking for 5 minutes.
He said he's torn. But
I'm torn.
Frank,
but that's why we're asking you.
Frank, we will give you the opportunity to change as time gets closer.
I think Frank's
but
looking up
right now. Give us your preliminary pick right now.
Prediction time.
Look, just straight up boxing. I mean, I got to pick Floyd just because.
Decision or knockout?
Floyd ain't knocking anybody out.
So decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going all rounds.
If Floyd wins, it goes the distance. I don't think he.
That is Frank's preliminary pick.
Okay.
We will re-engage this at a later time. Great old Bushman.
I've got McGregor in the 7th with a knockout.
So basically you just listen to Eric. He sold you on that.
No, he said 5 and 6.
Okay.
See,
He
look,
had 5 and 6. I'm saying 7.
They're showing those boxing videos of Conor. I mean, a lot of that could be just
old. They could be old videos.
And him like, hey, let's put this out there just so because.
Smoke screening, yeah.
Yeah, because they interviewed one of his boxing trainers, and he's like, well, if I can touch Conor up, imagine what Floyd. And I'm like, okay, dude, are you just bitter?
He's also probably trying to like down talk it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So like Floyd's like, oh Jesus, this is going to be easy, and then he kind of goes in with like being too cocky. Yep. You know.
He said, now, of course, it's easy to say, but I mean, Floyd said, they're like, we're not taking him lightly. We're going to train for this. And Floyd's a professional, so I at least believe
Listen, Floyd does not want to lose. He has never lost.
And if you lose to an MMA guy, that, I mean, now, if you lose to him in the octagon, then okay, but in straight boxing, everybody's going to look at Floyd, even though Floyd's going to be $100 million.
When's the first press conference?
I don't even know.
Look up the date.
And getting back,
I gotta be sitting.
Getting back to Al
on this
Bushman's
one.
point.
We might have to go out for the first press conference.
Getting back to Al Bushman's point too, if Floyd Mayweather just happens to lose this fight, boxing may take a dive just because of that. I mean,
They already taking a dive. It's going to be even worse.
I didn't say-
Boxing's already on the decline.
I didn't say it was going to take a dive. I think no matter how the fight ends up, it's going to give a shot in the arm to boxing because, like Craig said, this could take the UFC and boxing in a whole different direction where they can merge and do fights together on the same cards where you have boxing and UFC together.
even if Conor wins,
Even if Conor wins, even if
I mean outright. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll just say your prediction comes to fruition. You're talking about a knockout in what, 7?
7.
I mean, if that comes to fruition, you don't think boxing would
I don't think it's going to do anything to the sport of boxing. I think it's going to make boxing. It's going to take the guys that run boxing right now to look at the UFC and be like, okay, this is a sport that's now kind of eclipsed us right now. We maybe have to start working with them to get back to have the sport of boxing back where UFC is now.
only time will tell.
What the UFC does that boxing doesn't do is in the UFC, you fight. You don't wait 2 years before you
Right.
fight somebody or whatever. You fight who Dana says, hey, you're fighting. Ronda? Oh, yep. You're getting in the ring. Yep. I know Holly, blah, blah. You needed some time off. Yeah, that's great. You're going to fight Amanda Nunes now. So, have at it. In boxing, they don't do that. I mean, look how long it took them to get Triple G and Canelo. I mean, what people have been talking about that for years. I mean, Floyd and Manny. I mean, how long did that go on?
Yeah, if that fight would have happened 2 years prior, it would have been a completely different fight.
2 years prior. Try like 3 to 4.
Still,
I would even say 5 years before that.
I agree. All right, let's take a break, gentlemen. Great stuff to talk about on the show today here, Whole Nother Level. You're listening to us. Again, 813-699-5353 is the number. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Whole Nother Level. We are here in Cowork, Florida. Dwayne Lindo, Craig Cousin, Great L. Bushman, Frank Mazzei, the man Eric Wilson. All right, gentlemen.
You're listening to us live on Raw Talk Online and WRPR Rat Pack Sport Radio.
He always got to end.
You have to do that?
I was getting ready to.
No, you weren't.
I said, all right, gentlemen. I was getting ready to follow up with that.
Yeah, sure.
Never mind. Thank you, Great L. Bushman, for handling that.
Anybody that's wearing a Phillies hat wasn't about to follow up with nothing.
Man, nobody asked you. With your extra medium Tom Brady tank top.
It's just medium.
It's a medium.
Medium.
Well, hey, ever since you got that whole nother level polo, I haven't seen you wear anything else. Just saying.
I'm
I've seen
sorry.
you 4 times since.
I'm about marketing, brother. This is marketing the brand here. That's what it is.
Frank and Evan can kind of smell you from there, so I mean, maybe it's washed, maybe it's not. At least
Well,
me and Dwayne are a little farther away.
Well, he looks kind of smooth in that.
Thank you,
a nice
Dwayne.
touch.
Thank
but
you,
I'm
Dwayne.
saying,
I like the
I'll
polo.
go out.
I've seen him 4 times since he's gotten it. It's been all 4.
Yes.
He wore it at first.
Yes,
I mean,
because I'm about marketing our brand. If you bother to buy one, you'd be able to do the same thing.
Well,
They run a little
Sorry,
big.
Well, yes, it's for
the
New
big
England.
baller brand. I'm not sure. I'm
No,
a
this
big
ain't the
baller
big
yet.
baller brand. It's a whole nother level, baby. Come on now.
They run a little bit big, by the way.
They do.
They do.
But once you wash them a couple times,
No,
they're fine.
I should have got a medium.
Oh. Anyhow.
Mine's like a blanket on me.
Is that why you're not wearing yours?
It's laundry day.
Okay.
Yeah, I washed mine. Thank you very much. Frank, do I smell? Really? Am I good? Am I all right? I'm just asking. I'm being real here. I don't smell it, do I?
Not that I can tell.
All right. Thank you.
But he's only on his first cup of coffee.
So what? No matter.
He did,
His senses are
perk
heightened.
up when we talked about the Mayweather-McGregor fight.
Yeah.
He didn't wake up and smell the coffee yet, so he can't wake up and smell Eric. Well, not yet, though.
I'm sure he smells fine.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's go to basketball because the NBA draft is coming up, and Craig's not too happy right now.
Well, I'm not, it's not that I'm not happy. I'm excited to have the number 1 pick. I just have no idea what's going on. I mean, Danny Ainge better get this right because this doesn't come up seriously.
Well, it looks like the Lakers and the Celtics want to trade their picks, too. Lakers looking to trade their pick.
Well, I mean, we would get the number 2 in Julius Randle, according to that report. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm saying, yeah, all right, because you seem a little, you're like,
Well, I don't know what's going on.
You got the number 1 pick for the next, 5 years.
No, we
What
don't.
you worried about?
We have a lot of picks.
Right.
But it's all how the ping pong ball drops, and we've seen it before. I mean, as long as the letter's not in the freezer.
All right, so
You're right.
listen, you got
Patrick Ewing.
why you got the why really why
Wow.
All right.
I mean, where did that come
you're
from?
closer to
Where
him
did
than
that come
you're
from?
closer to him than I am, Dwayne. So
I know.
Cuts like a knife.
All right,
Unbelievable.
so continue, Eric. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to get your take on it because you seemed a little tense
I'm
about
uneasy.
the fact that exactly.
I'm uneasy because I think Markelle Fultz's offensive production is probably the best that we've seen in a very, very long time, and I think that he has the possibility to be a straight-up stud. With that said, I also think Lonzo Ball has a chance to be a really good player in the NBA. I don't think I've seen passing since probably Jason Kidd, like that ability, that passing ability, and then if you can get that out of him, then obviously that's a slam dunk. Josh Jackson, Tatum, and then also Fox. Fox looks like John Wall to me. He looks like exactly a John Wall prototype. So I think there's 5 players. And then, like I said, too, and I had tweeted this out, there's always a diamond in the rough. So there's going to be a player, too, that probably gets drafted between 15 and 30, even second round. That's going to be a really good player, if not a stud in the NBA. But as far as the number 1 pick, so say if you do trade with Philly wants to come up and get Fultz, so then they're going to pair him with Simmons and Embiid, which that future looks pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
You would get the number 3, and you would hope that the Lakers are taking Ball because at that point you want Josh Jackson.
Just stop. Let's cut the bull right here, man. I'm tired of everybody trying to play it as though we may not.
No,
the bottom line is this. The Los Angeles Lakers, with their pick, no matter what number it is, in the 2017 NBA draft, are taking Lonzo Ball.
Well, their pick is 2, and if it wasn't, they wouldn't be able to take him.
I don't know. They weren't impressed by his workout the other day.
I don't.
They said he looked out of shape.
Could be another smoke screen.
It is. This is all smoke and mirrors. That he's going to Los Angeles.
Magic Johnson
to the
really
Lakers.
like
well, it's funny though because listen. So say if Boston trades with Philly.
Okay.
And Magic Johnson's such a Boston hater. If you're really that much of a Boston hater, then you just go grab Josh Jackson right then, because that's who Boston wants at 3. That would be the ultimate stab in the back.
That would be a 30 for 30 part 3.
Yes.
If they had that.
Part 4.
They would go part 4 on that.
They would go part 4.
That's not going to happen though. So here's the deal. If we trade with Philly, then we're talking about trading for Jimmy Butler. So yeah,
which you guys should have done this past season.
But they didn't want to part ways with him.
Should have already done.
They wanted us to give up too much. So I don't know exactly what's going on now. I kind of want Hayward, but then there's Blake Griffin.
Do you really want Blake on that squad, though?
I do. I think he'd be great on that squad.
You think so?
I want one there.
I don't want him. I would not like to see him in a Boston jersey. I don't think he fits the mold.
Has he finished a full season the past couple of years? No.
I'd like Gordon over Blake.
If I had
to choose between the two.
But if you go get Jimmy Butler, you're not going to go get Gordon Hayward.
Why
That's
not?
true.
They pretty much play the same position. You could put one at the 2 and one at the 3, but then what are you going to do with Avery Bradley? I mean, there's so many different things on the roster's guard heavy right now. So I think that's why they're talking about trading, the number 1 pick, because if Fultz is going to be a guard. So then you're like, okay, well, what do I do with Marcus Smart? What do I do with Avery Bradley? Are we going to move IT to the 2, keep him at the 1, or trade him? I mean, there's been talk that they're going to trade IT as well.
Yep.
So I don't know what is going on right now, but there's a lot of buzz going around Boston right now, and they're really controlling the entire draft. Are they going to trade for a star? Are they going to collect picks?
Yep.
Or are they going to stay pat and pick at number 1? So it's interesting. What do you guys think? Based on their roster, it would be the best thing to do. I mean, from what you've seen.
You kind of broke. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they're going to have to do something. I mean, they've been stockpiling the last couple of years and haven't really had to do anything. Mm-hmm. Now they're at the point where they have to do something with this. They're going to have somebody is going to get moved that's on that roster.
They have room to sign. They're only $70 million committed. Isaiah Thomas is making $7 million next year for a player that is averaging 30 points a game is ridiculously low money. So they can go out and sign 2 max free agents pretty much. Yeah. They have to tilt the roster just a tad bit, but you can go get a Blake Griffin and a Jimmy Butler. You can go get Brook Lopez if he comes available, and a Gordon Hayward. I mean, whichever way you want to go, you could sign 2.
Yeah, I mean, look, I keep Avery Bradley or Marcus Smart because they play defense.
Yeah, so
if I could,
but are you keeping both?
I would part with. If I had to part with somebody, if in a perfect world, I'd like to move Isaiah Thomas to the 6th man. I'd like him to come off the bench basically and play against.
He's not going to though. He's not going to want to do that.
I know other backups because he plays no defense. So at least if you could get Lonzo Ball and pair him with Marcus Smart or Avery Bradley, I'm good with either one because they both defend really well. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. Basically, I mean, look, I would like to see them. And I know nobody's going to do it probably, but like a Marc Gasol in Memphis. I mean, if you could get a body like that.
Well, Horford's not a 5. I mean, he plays like a 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you can move him. You don't have to rely on him to be your center. You got somebody that can protect down low. And Gasol can score, too. I don't think it'll happen, but teams are going to have to get creative, basically, to catch either Cleveland in the East or Golden State in the West. Because if you keep your rosters the same, guess what we're going to have next year? Part 4.
Well, I already predict. We already talked about it.
I know.
It's gonna happen. The question we still have to figure out is what are the Cavs gonna do?
I know what the
so
Cavs
they
are going
get
to
rid
do.
of- Oh, yeah,
Carmelo,
yeah.
Anthony, and Dwayne Wade are both going to the Cavs.
Are you
Watch.
serious?
At least one
Did
of
you
them.
really just say
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
You're a lot closer to him, Al Bushman, than I am. That's twice you done said some stupid stuff today. I'm telling you
They
right
need
now.
offense, and that's what they want to do to
Yeah, but
compete.
Melo plays.
They
They
don't
need
play
defense.
They don't play
They need
defense anyways.
Right.
Did you see
Kyrie
the
don't
He
play.
plays zero
I mean,
defense
yeah.
anyways. Kyrie's the worst.
No, he was
he's
doing
probably
that.
one of the
No,
worst
you-
defensive guards I've ever seen in my
The
life.
Cavs
His
are
offense
smart.
is
You
awesome.
go and get Paul George some way.
Paul George
is staying.
Yeah, Paul George is sitting here saying right now, we
Allegedly.
can beat the Cavs. We just need better
But
players.
he only has one
Well,
more year,
duh.
correct?
Nobody's going to Indiana.
No one's going to Indiana.
He don't believe that.
Well, he said it.
Well, what he's
Paul
hoping is
George
he just sticks out the one more year. I think he has in his contract, and then LeBron's due to leave next year, and then maybe he can be like, okay, now let's team up. Because LeBron next year can go anywhere. So Paul George should go to Cleveland. They could all go to Miami again. Who knows? I mean, now and then you have Chris Paul out there, which is interesting because I think
He's gonna go San Antonio.
I think if
San
he goes,
Antonio.
yeah, but he takes a lot of money. He takes a lot of money that he less money.
Yes.
Denver's giving him a huge max contract if he wants to sign there, which he'll pretty much die there.
Yeah, don't
but,
go to Denver.
But I mean, yeah, if he goes to San Antonio, then San Antonio is definitely into consideration with him, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Kawhi Leonard.
As long as everybody can stay healthy, San Antonio's going to be San Antonio, Golden State.
Let's not forget
in the Western
Let's not forget
Conference.
San Antonio should have been up 1-0 on Golden State.
Well, they should have,
They were
but
up
they
25
weren't.
points, and then
Yep.
you
Kawhi.
know the MVP of the series knocked Kawhi out.
Zaza Pachulia.
Oh yeah,
Zaza. Really? Yeah.
Listen.
Well, I'm telling you right now. I can't believe you said Carmelo is going to Cleveland.
they're best friends.
No.
He's going to go somewhere.
He don't play no damn defense.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. Clearly it matters.
Oh.
It's 4-1.
Really?
And Golden State
Because if
won.
Corver hits that three, and that's offense, not defense.
If was
then
a
it's
fifth-
that's 2-2 series.
Craig, if was a fifth, we'd be drunk. I'm telling you.
Okay. Let's look at that series. Deron Williams contributed nothing. He was supposed to provide offense.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver contributed nothing. He was supposed to provide offense. J.R. Smith had 1 out of 5 good games. He was supposed to provide offense. You got absolutely nothing from Amon Shumpert. I can go down the list. Kevin Love played pretty good, but there was 2 games where he didn't play good offense. So you need offense.
No, you need defense.
You got no
defense.
You got no defense. They're not going to stop them. You can play the best defense. They're still going to put up 110 to 120 a game.
Do you want to drop a mic now?
I'm just saying they're gonna add at least one of them, either Carmelo or Wade, and then they're gonna say, hey, Craig,
Why would
thank
Wade
you.
leave Chicago?
Why,
Why? He's
why
home.
wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he?
He's home.
Because he doesn't want to sit there and die and play over there. He wants a chance to win another championship.
So
he's
gonna
gonna get money.
So he's gonna follow and go to LeBron, go to Cleveland.
Yeah. Would you rather have Dwayne Wade playing or J.R. Smith? Right
Oh
now?
no! Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on.
D-Wade.
No, because of
All
his
day.
knees. I cannot.
Okay, he's still gonna put up 18 to 20 a game, and J.R. Smith.
But he's not
can
going to
have
play.
spurts
But he's
of
not
that.
going to play a full season.
Okay, come off the bench as 6 man. He's still gonna be.
I'll take that.
and he'll probably be okay with that.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take D Wade as a 6 man. Now let me ask you a question because you weren't here on Tuesday. What if somehow, some way, they were able to get the pit bull out of Oklahoma City?
They're not doing that. Westbrook's not leaving
How do you know?
because he already said he's staying in OKC.
He's staying. Definitely.
And
I could
done.
see Blake Griffin going to OKC or something like that. Listen, they made the playoffs this year, and he won the MVP of the league. He's not going anywhere. And the biggest thing that he has on his shoulders is thinking like, hey, listen, I'm going to stand behind this fan base because the other person I thought was my teammate and was going to, he took the easy way out. And you guys can say what he want. He won his championship, good for him, but he took the easy way out.
Say okay. I continually go back to why is this such a big issue? Because you know what? I was sitting at home
It's
last
not an
night.
issue. That's a fact. He did.
No.
He could have went to any other team.
He could have.
And it would have been harder. So he literally took you went to a 72-win team, and you're the second best player in the NBA. Of course you're going to win the championship.
No, you're not. Because you know
You
what?
did.
But here's
Well,
the
he
thing.
has a ring. That's just
no.
the bottom
Well,
line.
wait. Here's the thing, though.
Whether it's easy or not,
He didn't. It wasn't easy because Frank, you said this on Tuesday. It wasn't the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. It was Kevin Durant with the Golden State Warriors. Why he is
You
a
have
champion.
3 All-Stars in your team, and you took the easy way out.
They lost 3-1 last year. They were up 3-1 last year, and they lost to the same exact team that they faced this year in
Which
LeBron
is why
and
he
the
should have
Cavs.
stayed because he would have won it this year with
what
OKC.
Happens, so what happens? KD, because Draymond called him, KD came to Golden State. But Kevin Durant knew going in he was the target. He
no
was
doubt
the
about
bad
it.
guy.
This is
he
took the easy way out.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Because
you went to a 72-win team.
But
Golden
KD
State
was the
would
one that
not have
elevated
won.
Golden State to the next level.
Golden
as far as
State-
I'm
They just
concerned,
won the championship 2
season.
years ago, and they won 72 games last season.
But I'm talking about this
73.
series. I'm
But
talking
they
about
don't
this
win the
series.
championship without Kevin Durant.
I'm talking
They
about
won
that
it 2
series.
years ago without him, and they went to the championship last year.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying to you is with the team
You would
that's
take the easy
currently
way out. There's no way to convince me. There's absolutely 0% will convince me
If
otherwise.
he would have rid the coattails of the Splash Brothers, if he would have read the coattails of Draymond Green and Iguodala coming
there
off
was
the
2
bench,
teams he could have went to
and
taking the
then-
easy way out.
Hold
the
on,
Cavs and the Warriors.
Hold on.
He went to one of those teams.
Craig.
So didn't
Craig.
didn't LeBron do that like years ago with the whole Miami thing? I mean, that goes. I don't care about that.
But I'm saying no.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying
he went to where
it was
he
just
thought
a
he
simple,
could win a
it was just
championship.
a
And he
simple
won it.
sentence. He did take the easy way out. That was
No,
it.
he did not. Yes, he went to a 73-win team, and yes, he went to a team that beat him after they were
Listen,
down.
I'm not saying he
Oklahoma
didn't
City
play
was
well.
down.
He
Let
played
me
amazing.
Finish, Craig.
because
He was down 7. He was down. Okay, Oklahoma City 2 years ago now was up 3-1 over Golden State. What happens? Golden State comes back and beats them 4-3 to go to the NBA Finals. And then
Okay,
what
because
happens to Golden?
Durant choked.
Hold on. What happens to Golden State? Golden State faces Cleveland, being up 3-1, and
choke.
then they choke. So what does Kevin Durant do? He goes and plays for Golden State, which you could call it the easy way out, but the bottom line is this. Without Kevin Durant this season, the Golden State Warriors would not be world champions.
I'd have to agree with
They
that.
would not
It is
be
still
world
the
champions.
easy way out.
How is it the easy way out? Kevin Durant made the Golden State Warriors
Okay,
better.
because if
he
Ke-
made them better.
you just won 73 games, as you stated.
But you didn't win the ring. I don't care about
You
your
won one
73
the
wins.
the year before.
I'm not caring about that. You're talking about the last 2 seasons.
He took the easy way out. There's no doubt about it.
No, he did not.
We're going to agree to disagree
He
on that.
elevated Golden State.
Do you think he took the easy way out?
You can't beat him. Join him.
Exactly.
If he rid the coattails of the Splash Brothers, Draymond.
I didn't say he
Iguodala-
rode the coattails. He went to a team that has 3 perennial MVP. Oh, he has the reigning MVP the last 2 seasons.
but they couldn't win.
But I think
They did win 73 games.
But I think
And
But
they
he
titled
did
the year
not win
before.
the championship.
I have nothing else to say. He took the easy way out.
No, he did not.
Well,
I don't even know why this is an argument.
Well,
I mean,
I think there's
if
a
anybody
discrepancy
is
here.
listening and calls in, everybody can. I mean, this
well,
is like
the
a
discrepancy
90%.
is here that I don't think he took the easy way out. I think he wanted to. The whole point is he wanted a ring.
Yes.
Of
Well,
course.
if you want to call that the easy way out, then so be it.
How is it the easy way out when you go to a team that did not win the previous year? And then you elevate your game, which elevates them to winning a ring. At the end of
Because
the
they
day-
were the best team in the regular season, and they were up 3-1 in the finals.
but they couldn't win.
and you just added your. They just won the year before against the same team.
It doesn't. No,
I mean, not taking the easy way out would have been staying with Oklahoma City and trying to see if they could beat that team that they just lost to. Not taking the easy way out would have been to go to an Orlando Magic and build that franchise. Not taking the easy way out would be going to another team. You know what I'm saying? Like even the Celtics, which are trying to get up and running. That and beating LeBron in the East or something like that. That would be not taking the easy way out. Literally, the only 2 teams that he could not have joined to take the easy way out are Cleveland and Golden State, and he joined one of those.
Well, look, I mean,
the case is closed.
In the age of free agency, you can go anywhere you want.
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying it was a bad decision. Clearly,
Yeah,
it was
I
a
mean-
great decision for him because he won his
Right.
title. But it's still, to me, taking the easy way. He did it.
So
But
you
am,
said-
am
so-
I am I going to hold it against him? No, he got his.
So
ring,
what? So when you telling
and
me
he played, and he
should
played
have been
awesome.
a New York Knick or something like that? I mean, what are you telling? What are you telling us?
I'm sure as hell wouldn't have been easy.
There's no saving-
I mean, that's
There's
what
no
I'm-
saving
that's
the
my
New
whole
York
point.
Knicks.
I mean, look. I mean, he went to the place. As far as I'm concerned, the way I look at it, and I'm going to reiterate, he went to the place where he had a great chance,
I
a
agree
very
with
good
that.
chance to get a ring.
But I agree with
And-
that.
and
That's
you
not-
agree with that,
That
but you
wasn't
don't
the
agree with
debate.
me.
Because the debate wasn't whether I think he made the right decision. I think that he took the easy way of making that decision.
If he goes to the Orlando Magic, then we say that Kevin Durant doesn't care about winning, that it was just a money grab. Because, I mean, realistically...
Well, he couldn't know because he could have got paid the max contract anywhere.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. But I'm
With
saying
no players
if
around
he goes to any of those teams like the Knicks or whatever, they'll be like, you're not caring. Because when Carmelo signed with the Knicks, everybody's like, dude, you ain't winning nothing there. You took the max deal. You
Absolutely.
wanted your money. And
Even though they did go get Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, they tried to build around him.
if Durant went to any of those other scrub teams, basically, it'd be like, you wanted the max money, basically. You don't care about winning. He at least cares about winning, but
No,
I
absolutely.
do agree.
Can't argue
but,
that.
But, I mean, he's like, I'm going to win.
and he's willing to take less money this upcoming season so that they can re-sign the necessary pieces so that they can keep continually winning.
Okay.
Well, yeah, winning's fun.
Right.
I mean, and he's already made his millions.
But at the end of the day, him going to that team was the missing piece of the puzzle. Because I don't care if you won 73 wins the previous season. You didn't win a ring. At the end of the day, same thing on your tank top right now. What's it about? It's about those 5 rings that Brady got. I don't care who he's got around him. I don't care who went to New England to get there. The bottom line is you're going to win a ring. So what Kevin Durant did was say, I am going to get a ring. It's not about the money. It's about the hardware. And right now, the one thing you can't call Kevin Durant is not an NBA championship.
And that wasn't the argument.
You're just you saying he went there.
The argument was he took the easy way to get there.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
So he's supposed to go somewhere and build this team and say, okay, I built this up. No, I want the hardware.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Whatever.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go into baseball. Hopefully things calm down in the studio. You're listening to us live on Raw Talk Online and also WRPR Rat Pack Radio. We'll be back in just a minute.
And welcome back to Whole Nother Level. We are here at Cowork, Florida. Yeah,
everybody's still friends in the studio.
Tempers have settled down between.
I love you, Eric.
I love you too, Craig. Listen, that's what we do, man. It's you know what? We truly are. This is why we're the best show in Florida, best sports show in Florida. Whole Nother Level.
And Katie got a ring, just FYI.
For the record, he took the easy way out. For the record, he took the easy way out.
All right, let's go to some baseball here because I've got 3 AL East guys sitting to my left who you know what, gentlemen? We're coming up on the time where I said whoever's going to be in first place is going to be the one that turns the motor on. Craig seems to feel like the Red Sox have turned the motor on now. They took 3 from 4 from Philadelphia, which, as a Philly fan, I'm telling you, it's not saying much. Did I say – I said Boston. Yes, I just wanted to make sure.
You did.
You know, the Yankees, Craig said, are starting to decline. So, Dwayne, I want to hear from you. And then, as always, Great Al Bushman, you know, where are the Rays at? What's going on, fellas?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that the Yankees are on a decline. I mean, they've lost a couple series. They've lost 2 out of 3 for the last couple series. But, I mean, the lineup is just like off the chain. What do we have, like a 150-run differential? I mean, at this point, Boston's on our heels. But, I mean, I think it's a matter of the Yankees lineup. The lineup is stacked. Judge is killing it. I mean,
here we go.
I know. All right. Well, okay. Well, let's rewind a little bit. Evan and I had a little beef going back and forth where, you know, Judge 2 weeks ago hit 496, and Evan came back at me. Well, what is the big deal? You know, there's been home runs hit farther than that. You know, that's the ESPN. Other networks are making it such a big deal.
No, only
it is a big
ESPN
deal,
was.
but what?
Only ESPN
Well,
was.
but here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. I understand, and I think ESPN. I'm not like it's not like I'm backing ESPN here,
Yes,
but I
you
think
Yes, sounds like you are.
ESPN understands that it's not the farthest home. I mean, 530, the 525, 530. I mean, there's many home runs hit farther than 496. But here's the point.
Siri,
You
what
have
is the longest
you have
home
Judge,
run
who's
in-
a rookie, the kid is 24, 25 years old, rookie, and he's leading the league in slugging percentage, home runs. I mean, hitting the ball farther than any other rookie.
I am not taking anything away from his stats. He's doing an unbelievable job as a rookie.
Right.
I'm just saying
Numbers don't lie.
That ESPN makes such a big deal about, and they have the dumbest stat in the world about how fast the ball comes off a bat. And they're saying, 409. There's been home runs that have been farther than that. It's just ESPN has such a hard-on for New York. It blows my mind.
Well, here's the deal, too.
Trust me, if he keeps rolling that the way he is, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins not only the Rookie of the Year, but the MVP.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from his playing ability. He's a freak.
Right.
The dude's 6'7".
Right.
He's
Right.
what, 254 pounds?
That's part of it.
I'm just saying the way it's another home run by Judge. It came off the bat 100 miles an hour. What did he do?
And here's the deal too, Evan. The deal is you're talking about New York, who New York is the #1 market in the country. So ESPN has to kind of
because
blow New York up.
because their ratings are falling. Their ratings are falling, and nobody likes to watch.
I mean, that's the reason why they had to
anymore.
lay off so many folks. But the point is that when you have big markets like that, you have to make sure that the story whatever the story is, even if you're making up stuff. Oh, the ball's coming off the bat at 100 miles per hour.
The most useless stat in the world.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you want to get some. You want to.
That's like me saying, okay, LeBron shot the ball. It went 20 miles an hour.
But people
Into the basket.
But here's the deal, Evan. But here's the deal. People get bored of, this person hit a home run. The home run stats, the RBI stats, the run stats. You have to come up with new stats to keep it fresh, keep
don't.
it going. What do you mean? No, you don't.
Sports
You
science.
do. Especially in markets like New York and L.A. I mean, that's
They're
exactly
that
what
bored
they-
in New York and LA, and
Look-
they have to come up with new stats about how fast the ball comes out the bat.
Well, if you're talking about a dude that's 6'7", 260.
You already know he's going to hit it hard.
Well, of course. But, I mean, again, the network.
If he hit the ball and it came off the bat 50 miles an hour, there would be a problem.
Here's the point, Evan. You're not listening to me.
I'm listening to you.
Like a bunt.
It ain't registering. Here's the point.
I'm listening
the point
to you.
is that the point is that network wants to create a few more stats than the typical RBI runs. I mean, they're just trying to come up with something fresh.
Okay,
I mean, that's
I have a
just-
new
that's
stat.
just-
I have a new stat.
And you just look.
I have a new
You
stat.
just put,
How fast can a manager chew gum?
all right, now see.
That's
now,
my new
now,
stat.
see, now, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
MPH chew gum.
But here's the thing. You just mentioned it. A lot of these networks, especially the network we're talking about right now, I mean, their ratings are kind of declining a little bit. So you have to come up with something. That's just the point. That's what you have to do.
I know.
Can we bring back the Schwab?
How many licks does it take to get to the center? I bet it's zero pop.
I mean, if anyone's closer to the Schwab here, it'd be Factual Frank.
I know. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Can we bring the
Ask him about the stats. And look, I mean, this is the guy that knows more about stats.
Frank,
than
did you
anyone
not
at
agree
this
with me the
table.
other day that was the most useless stat in the world?
Look, here's what ESPN has done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Factual Frank.
They started this kind of stuff with that whole sports science show.
Yeah, they did.
And doing those exact kind of things, like, well, when this guy runs, he runs the same way as a wild ostrich or something with his wingspan.
Right.
It's just like a big bird or a condor, and that moved over basically into just getting more segments and more segments. But that's where they've gone. I mean, that's the direction that they've been heading, is with that kind of
But here's the $1
information.
million question. Here's the $1 million question. Why are they doing that? Evan just mentioned it. I mean, the reason why they're doing this is to drum up a little bit more ratings.
There
I mean,
goes
it makes it a
Billy
little bit more
Hamilton.
fun too. If you don't
Running
look,
around
I mean,
the
there's
places like
people
a
out there
gazelle.
that kind of throw out the oohs and ahs because that's something new and different. And that's what gets eyeballs on the TV screen. Simple as that.
Is anybody
So it
know-
is written, so shall it be done.
What gets eyeballs on the TV screen is putting Samantha Ponder.
Yes, that's
in,
what get-
as
Well,
a
that's
host.
Aaron
I
Andrews.
mean,
Right. I
That's
mean,
what gives eyes on the TV.
Which sports network doesn't do that? Networks do that anyway.
We do it
there's
here.
only two people you see.
We
on-
got Natasha. I'm just
I
saying.
think
Yeah.
CBS is the only one that really doesn't do it.
Maybe.
I don't think CBS does.
Wait, you're tired of looking at Jim Nance and Phil Simms?
Yeah, all the time.
Phil Sims is pretty, man. He's a New York Giant.
Craig, you've been awfully quiet.
You're going to be
in
looking
this
at Tony
space.
Romo this season.
I mean, so have you, Eric, because I think we exhausted all of our energy last segment.
No, I'm still good. I got a little left in the tank here. But you being a Boston fan, you're only, what, a game and a half back?
One game back.
One game back.
Oh, yes,
from-
Before we get into the Red Sox Nation, I will say this. The one surprise that has been with the New York Yankees with me is CeCe Sabathia.
And yeah, look, he's 7-2. I mean, he's down now, hamstring injury. But he's literally, this guy's impressed me. Not only to his last game where he pitched 4 innings, but throughout the whole season. I mean, I would have never thought.
4 innings impressed you?
Well, no, I'm saying look, he had like 4 or 5 strikeouts in the 4
Oh, is that
innings.
before he went down with the injury?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the game that he
I
went
got
down with the
I
injury.
got
Yeah, he pitched 4 innings before he went down with the injury. So that game impressed me. The whole season impressed me because prior to us, when we were talking about the season for all the teams in the AL East, when I broke down New York, I thought CeCe would be the bottom of the barrel when it comes to pitching. He
Right
was
now
a number
Tanaka.
4. Well, yeah,
Right now,
yeah, it was
Tanaka.
yeah, you could totally flip it around.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point is he was a number 3 or number 4 starter. This guy has proven to himself to be an asset to the New York Yankees. So
He's
you know,
looking like a
fans
no-
are
he's-
just-
he's
fans
look-
are just fans are just like, when is he coming back?
He's looking like
You know?
he's looking like a number 1 again.
Right,
That's what
right.
he's looking like.
So I feel like the Yankees have an unfair advantage this weekend because they're in Oakland playing the Athletics. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have a very true test because you're actually playing one of the top teams in Major League Baseball in the Houston Astros.
Okay.
So I feel like, unfortunately,
They didn't have a test yesterday with the Phillies?
they lost 1-0 after playing 2 games in Boston and then 2 games in Philly. And to answer your question,
True test with the Phillies.
no. I just feel like the Yankees may continue their momentum because they're playing arguably the second worst team in the Major League Baseball. Meanwhile, the Red Sox, you guys are going to have to pull out all the stops, being only one game back. So,
it's going to be an interesting week. I
yes,
can tell you that.
it's going to be a very interesting
in
weekend.
The East.
I mean, the Rays,
the Red Sox, and the Yankees are all 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're all playing consistent, I guess.
I mean, the Rays are
a little above 500.
The Rays are in Detroit this weekend, so we'll see what happens with them.
The Rays have played pretty well against pretty good competition. Their problem is they can't beat the teams that they should beat. You know, and then as far as the Yankees go, I predicted they were going to take a slide only because, I mean, even in our preseason show, I thought that they were going to be decent with some young talent, but I didn't think that they were going to be this good this quick.
Right.
And kudos to them because they have been.
Look, I didn't think they were going to be this good. I predicted a 90-win season.
I mean,
and everybody laughed at me. But, I mean, I was kind of pushing out a couple games. I mean, I maybe thought in the back of my head maybe 85 to, 85-ish. But I said 90. I just want everyone to remember that. But the thing is that I'm so – I mean, I agree. I'm on your boat.
High five.
Yeah, I'm on your boat. I mean, I'm just like – floored of what the lineup's doing this season. I'm floored.
It's still a tight race. The Rays are kind of in there. They were in the wild card spot before last night's debacle and the night before that, so they're still hanging in there.
Well, I mean, they're a game back in the wild card spot.
Yeah. Well, they were up by 2 the other day.
I know.
They had that
But
slide.
right now,
They lost 3 games in a row, and the Yankees have lost 4 games in a row.
But right now, the 3 teams currently are, the Houston Astros, Yankees, Minnesota Twins, and then Boston and Cleveland would take the wild card for the American League.
Yeah, so we're going to switch places with the Yankees here shortly, and then, we'll see if the Rays can catch the Yankees.
I mean, this weekend's going to be really interesting.
I mean, all joking aside, it may go back and forth. I mean, I'm actually scared of Boston. Boston is
You should be. I'm sorry.
You should be.
I'm sorry, Craig. I just thought you'd get in there real quick.
We have great bats, but really what's carrying our relief pitching's been great. 24 innings straight with not giving up a single run. Craig Krimble has the most saves in the major leagues, I believe, at least the American League at 19. So he's playing great, and I think the bats are starting to come around. They're not as good as I thought they'd be, or at least as consistent as I thought they'd be, early on. But I think we're starting to get a little healthier, and if we can get anything out of David Price, I mean.
So let me ask this question really quick.
If you had so much, if you can get like production out of Price, I could only imagine even after the All-Star break, I could only imagine where Boston would be.
He does not want to be there right now.
Okay, let me ask this question to the 3 AL East guys. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, he does. Too. All that money they're paying him?
Yeah, true.
Media
he's
and the fans
okay.
are going to run him out of that
Dwayne,
that city.
You're playing the Oakland A's. You're in Oakland this weekend. How many are you going to win?
Well, I'd like to win 3.
Well,
but,
I'm asking.
2. 2
You're
out of
saying
3.
2 out of 3. All right,
gotta
Craig.
get out of this
We're
slump.
going to split.
You're going to split. Mm-hmm. Is it 4-game series? So you're playing a doubleheader on Saturday, or is it Friday to Monday?
It might be 3. I got to check.
Because I know you're on Sunday Night
If
Baseball.
we can take 2 games, I'll be happy with that.
How many are you predicting?
2.
You're predicting 2.
Yeah.
Radio Bushman, you've got Detroit this weekend. How many games?
Well, we lost last night. Hopefully we win today.
Archer's on the mound.
I'm hoping they pull out a victory. I mean, listen, it's been the same issue before. It's bullpen.
Right.
So it's who are you going to get in there to lock down a solid bullpen? I mean, you got Boxberger coming back maybe in a couple weeks, but still, you have the 6, 7, 8 guys that you try to put in there every single night to try and save games. It's the issue.
Okay.
And then last night was just, what the hell is going on?
All right.
So it's they have this run where they do pretty well, and then it's just like they have a string of really shitty games. But unlike a lot of the fans that are out there right now that are already writing them off, it's like, look, man, they were in the wild card spot before 2 nights ago.
Right.
So chill out.
Okay.
Unlike the fan I got into an argument with on Twitter the other day.
Oh yeah, how'd that go, by the way?
So I got into my first Twitter argument with
another Rays fan?
No, actually, some Yankee fan.
Oh, imagine
He
that.
was tweeting about nothing he knew about. So he tweeted out.
Was it Dwayne?
No, it wasn't
have you
Dwayne.
watched
Okay.
It was some guy on Twitter that said
Wow, throwing me under the bus here.
that the trade that should happen for the Rays is they should trade and go to Montreal. And then we had a huge argument about why. I asked him why. I was like, why?
Because he's Canadian?
No, he's from New York. He's actually from New England.
Well,
he's from New England, and he's a Yankees fan.
Well, you should
Trade
just
and go
end
to
the
where?
conversation right there.
It was like something about who the Rays should trade for, and this guy said, well, the Rays should trade and go to Montreal. And I was like, okay, why? Why should this team go to Montreal when baseball has already failed in Montreal? And he couldn't give me a good reason.
Are you saying the Expos are failures?
Listen, that makes zero sense. I mean, unless
Exactly.
he's Canadian.
He's from New England.
Huh.
He's like, well, the ratings are so good. There's no ratings in Montreal. Nobody watches baseball in Montreal. They're all watching in Toronto. And he was like, well, they should. It's like, no, you're not giving me an answer why they should go back to Montreal, to a city that's already failed in. And it was funny because he couldn't give me a straight answer.
So you can eat those
I can't
French
even-
fries with the cheese on top.
Oh, those are.
And the
I'm a
great
Yankees fan. I can't give you a straight answer on that one.
The reason, and I was giving them all the reasons why I failed in Montreal. The reason why they failed in Montreal was A, the fans, because nobody went. B, your owner, Jeffrey Loria, what team does he own now?
Marlins.
Marlins, who he's trying to sell to somebody. It was because of him, and it was because the French and U.S. media, they all hated that team, and they pretty much ran him out of the city. So I was asking him, tell me why they should go back. It's like going back to an ex-girlfriend. It's not going to be the same. Like, I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah, I can't
Exactly.
Even defend
No-
that argument.
nobody can- you can't-
I'm trying to reach here and try to defend
Exactly,
that. I'm
because
like,
you
just
can't
to
give
back
a good
this
answer.
Yankees fan up, because apparently we're supposed to be brothers, but I can't even do it.
Exactly, because you can't give a good answer why there should be a team in Montreal. If it failed once, you're not going to go back again. It's not going to be a good market for it. That's why it didn't work the first time.
Look, I did like the Expos hat, though.
They were a great team.
I love the hat.
Al Oliver. I mean, Andre Dawson.
Andre
Yeah.
Dawson, are you kidding me?
They were a great team. So, but the thing is, like, it's Canada where hockey rules and CFL. So this guy was just funny. He couldn't give me any kind of straight answer. It was pretty hilarious.
Next.
What about the 3-on-3 league that's starting up, fellas?
I love that
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
I'm so
2020,
happy about
baby.
that. 2020. That's going to be awesome. That right there is going to bring basketball.
No. We're talking about the summer league. Are you talking about the summer league, Ice Cube summer league?
I thought you were talking about Olympics.
I thought you were talking
No,
about the
I am not actually talking about the Olympics. There
No,
is actually
Ice Cube's league is now a 3-on-3 basketball league that's premiering what? Next month?
it's starting. I think it's either next month or actually maybe even Monday.
Where guys that used to play like AI is like one of the
Allen Iverson has a team in the league.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups has a team in the league.
Yeah.
There's a couple others. It's actually there's referees. It's 3-on-3.
Yeah.
The court is bigger than half court, but not as big as an entire.
So 3/4, pretty much.
About a 3/4. Yes.
Wow, I mean,
I
where's
like
all
it,
this
man.
And
3
they're
3
selling
coming
out.
from?
Dope.
They're selling out arenas. And actually, not Anthony Monroe. Who is the old Spurs player? I have to look it up. He actually developed the league with Ice Cube. So there's a couple of players, like ex-NBA players that have actually developed the league.
And also, this it will be an Olympic sport in 2020. In
Yes.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
That
So
as well.
I mean,
Yes.
it's funny that these 3-on-3 leagues are just coming about.
Steven Jackson has a league, right? Or has a
Yeah.
team in it.
I would pay
Yeah,
to
I
go
think
see
I
that.
think it's opening up. I want to say it's Allen Iverson's team against Chauncey Billups' team or something similar to that. Yeah.
Now-
but they have some other good players in it too.
When you say Chauncey Billups and Allen Iverson, are they actually playing?
No, they are
or-
playing.
Okay.
They are playing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's going to draw some fans definitely. I'm curious to see if AI can still play.
Here we go. Here
That'd be pretty cool.
I believe
8
can,
teams.
probably.
Yes, there's 8 teams. Go over some of the rosters.
All right, so Allen Iverson's team is Three's Company. It's him, DeMar Johnson, Andre Owens, Mike Sweeney, Ruben Patterson, and he's the coach, of course.
We got a Kwame Brown sighting.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Kwame Brown?
Yes.
The three
Wow.
Herald Monsters, Rashard Lewis's team. He's got Jason Williams on there, Kwame Brown, Eddie
White
Bassman.
Lightning. Jay Will back in it.
Gary Payton is their coach.
Okay.
The Ghost Ballers captain is Mike Bibby. Ricky Davis, Mo Evans, Marcus Banks, Ivan Johnson, and the coach is George Gervin. The Ball Hogs.
Iceman George Gervin back in the house.
Ball Hogs is Brian Scalabrini. Oh, Scalabrini's on that team?
He's the captain.
Shit. Josh Childress, Derek Byers, Rashul Butler, Dominic McGuire, and Rick Barry is the coach. The Tie State, Jermaine O'Neal, Bonzi Wells, Xavier Salas, Lee Nylon, Mike James, and Dr. Julius. Dr. J. Irvin is the coach.
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
The Power, we've got Corey and Maggot, Contino Mobley, Jerome Williams, Deshaun Stevenson, Moochie Norris, and Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler's a coach. That's awesome.
You know, it's funny because they're bringing up some Hall of Famers to be coaches, it seems like.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Killer,
Trying to drum up the league.
The
I
Killer
guess.
Threes, which is Chauncey Billups' team. Steven Jackson's on the team. Reggie Evans, Larry Hughes, Brian Cook, and Charles Oakley is the coach.
Charles Oakley.
Oh, my gosh.
I wonder if they play any games in near.
Yeah,
in
I was about to ask that question.
Last but not least is the trilogy is Kenyon Martin, Al Harrington, Rashad McCants, James White, Deion Glover, and Rick Mahorn is the coach.
Wow.
Rick Mahorn, there you go, baby.
Yes.
Craig is breaking stuff.
Craig is so excited.
So
His
excited,
mic,
breaking his mic.
his mic came off. He was so excited.
All
by
he needed
this.
to do was hear about Rick Mahorn. That was it.
That was it. Rick
That was
Mahorn's
the
that
deciding
what?
factor.
I'm actually excited to watch this though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do we have when is the start date?
Let's see, it's supposed to be. I thought it was next month that they're supposed to.
I know it's
start.
soon.
Okay,
It
here
is
you go.
soon.
June
The
26th.
Fox Sports will air the Big Three quadruple header on June 26th.
So,
next
Monday.
week. Next
Yeah,
week.
a week from
And then
Monday.
it's seven succeeding Mondays.
Okay.
So every Monday you're gonna have a game.
And where's it on Fox Sports?
Fox Sports.
FS1.
Oh, look at them trying to
yeah.
overtake that network.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? That other network.
FS1's definitely coming in.
Listen, man, this is something good to put in the middle
Wait,
of summer.
look at this. Look at this. Kobe, didn't he say
In my hopes, this is what Ice Cube was saying. In my
Oh.
hopes and wishes, Kobe sees this and says, "Next year, I'm going out for the Big Three."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot. I heard Paul Pierce might play in it next year, and some other people. Yeah. So I heard
KG, Kevin Garnett.
Seriously.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if the actual?
Maybe they bring the Big Three back. Ray Allen. No.
All right, but
Yeah,
think
we
about
talked
this.
about
What
that.
if it's Paul Pierce, Kobe, and Kevin Garnett?
Oh, just over. League over.
Oh,
Would that be a super team?
That would be a super team in the Big Three. They're going to be calling the Big Three as a super team. It's unfair.
it would be. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and ride out of here. This has been great. An awesome show today. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. We are Whole Nother Level. We're back in the studio on Tuesday. So for the entire cast of characters, as I call them, Dwayne Lindo, Craig Cousin, Great L. Bushman, Frank Mazzei, the factual Frank Mazzei, it's your man Eric Wilson. And until then, we'll see you next time.
Gee, Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.